involved. The most important differences between domestic and international business are: domestic business is defined as the business whose economic transaction is conducted within the geographical limits of the country. International business refers to a business which is not restricted to a single. The most important difference, the area of operation of the domestic business is business are domestic business is defined as the business whose economic transaction. On the other hand, the area of operation of international business is vast. International business refers to a business which is not restricted to a single. The most important difference, the area of operation of the domestic business are domestic business is defined as the business whose economic transaction. On the other hand, the area of operation of international which are set according to international business refers to a business which is not. Its goods in the local market, then the surplus goods are exported. Integration of economies, international business integrates, combines the economies of many countries dominated by developed countries and MNCs. International business is dominated by developed countries and their multinational corporations. Benefits to participating countries. International business gives benefits to all participating countries. Keen competition. International business has to face keen competition in the world market. Special role of science and technology. International business gives a lot of importance to science and you see technology. International restrictions. International business faces many restrictions on the inflow and outflow of capital, technology, and goods. Sensitive nature. The international business is very sensitive in nature. Any changes in the economic policies, technology, political environment, etc., has a huge impact on it. Next is importance of international business. You see, it earns, you see, foreign exchange. You see, we get foreign exchange. If we do exports, we'll get foreign exchange. Optimum utilization of resources. Suppose some resources are there, are made in abundance in our country. So we will use them. Otherwise, if suppose we will use them for exports. If suppose the you see wheat is available in abundance, so our entire population you see we are having you see surplus wheat. So what to do? It is better to export than achieve its objectives, to spread business risk, improve organization efficiency, to get benefits from government, expand and diversity, increase competitive capacity, earn foreign exchange, international business, exports its goods and services all over the you see world. This helps to earn valuable foreign exchange, optimum utilization of resources. International business makes optimum utilization of resources. This is because it produces goods on a very large scale for the international market. International business utilizes resources from all over the world, achieve its Globalization attracts entry of foreign capital along with foreign updated technology which improves the quality of production. Globalization usually restructure production and trade pattern favoring labor intensive goods and labor intensive globalization attracts as well as expansion of trade and services with foreign in a globalized scenario domestic industries of developing countries becomes conscious about price reduction and quality improvement through their products so as to face foreign intensive globalization discourages in a globalized economic import substitution and favors cheaper imports of capital goods, which reduces capital output ratio in manufacturing industries. Cost effectiveness and price reduction of manufactured commodities will improve the terms of trade in favor of agriculture. Globalization facilitates consumer goods industries to expand faster to meet growing demand for these consumer goods, which would result faster expansion of employment opportunities over a period of time. Globalization enhances the efficiency of banking, insurance, and consumer goods industries, which is opening up to those areas to foreign capital, foreign banks, and insurance companies. Faster expansion. Now, global trade is global. You see, migration, then global culture, then global. You see, communication. Under global trade, imports and exports, trade with many countries, trade agreements with help exporters, more demand for goods and services as living standards improve, lower business costs, global migration, people moving to other countries, people working overseas, international tourism, cheaper flights and transport, global culture, products from many countries, culture exchange and understanding, culture exports, global advertising, global organizations, global communication, cheaper, faster communication, internet access, global media networks, new technologies, increased awareness of international issues. Why should companies expand internationally? You see, a truly multinational company is one which has a globalized supply chain spread across different parts of the world, while a global supply chain has its own vulnerabilities, which are usually beyond the control of the company. For example, the tsunami in Japan, you see, there are many reasons why a company would want to enter into international markets. The primary reasons are explore markets with better profitability. This is an obvious reason for a lot of local companies to enter into an international market. Achieve economies of scale with a larger customer base. Some goods and commodities provide the company with greater economies of scale opportunities. The effects of economies of scale can be magnified when a larger base of customers come into the business. Reduce over dependence on any one market. Each business should be diversified across products and also across the market segments that it targets. This protects the business from uncertainties. This is another reason why a company should expand internationally. Service customers who are abroad. There could be tech companies who already serve customers around the world despite being entered at only their home country. When the company has enough number of big ticket customers in some part of the world, they can link about setting up an office there and further expand their customer base. These are the factors affecting the foreign market entry, mode decision. There are internal, factors are there, firm size, international experience, then about product complexity, product differentiation advantage, then desired mode characteristics are risk averse, control, flexibility. Then transaction specific factors are, tacit nature of know-how, opportunistic behavior, then transaction costs. Then external factors are socio-cultural distance between home currency and foreign currency, country risk, demand uncertainty, market size and growth, direct and indirect trade barriers, intensity of competition, small number of relevant export international available. Now, factors affecting the selection of international market entry mode. The first factor is market size. Market size of the market is one of the key factors an international marketer has to keep in mind when selecting an entry mode. Countries with a large market size justify the modes of entry with long-term commitment requiring high level of investment such as wholly owned subsidiaries or equity participation. Market growth, most of the large established markets such as the United States, Europe and Japan has more or less reached a point of saturation for consumer goods such as automobiles, consumer electronics. Government regulations, the selection of a market entry mode is to a great extent affected by the legislative framework of the overseas market. The governments of most of the Gulf countries have made it mandatory for foreign firms to have a local partner. For example, the UAE is a lucrative market for Indian firms, but most firms operate there with a local partner. Level of competition, presence of competitors, and their level of involvement in an overseas market is another crucial factor in deciding on an entry mode so as to effectively respond to competitive market forces. This is one of the major reasons behind auto companies setting up their operations in India and other emerging markets so as to effectively respond to global competition. Physical infrastructure, the level of development of physical infrastructure such as roads, railways, telecommunications, financial institutions, and marketing channels is a precondition for a country to commit more resources to an overseas market. The level of infrastructure development, both physical and institutional, has been responsible for major investments in Singapore, Dubai, and Hong Kong. As a result, these places have developed as international marketing hubs in the Asian region. Level of risk, from the point of view of entry mode selection, a firm should evaluate political risk, political instability, and turmoil dissuades firms from committing more resources to a market like Pakistan. In Pakistan, there is high political risk, economic risk. Economic risk may arise due to volatility of exchange rates of the target market's currency, upheavals in balance of payment situations that may affect the cost of other inputs for production and marketing activities in foreign markets. International companies find it difficult to manage their operations in markets wherein the inflation rate is extremely high. Operational risk in case the marketing system in an overseas country is similar to that of the firm's home country, the firm has a better understanding of operational problems in the foreign market in question. Internal factors are company objectives. Companies operating in domestic markets with limited aspirations generally enter foreign markets as a result of a reactive approach to international marketing opportunities. In such cases, companies receive unsolicited orders from acquaintances, firms, and relatives based abroad, and they attempt to fulfill these export orders. Availability of company resources venturing into international markets needs substantial commitment of financial and human resources, and therefore choice of an entry mode depends upon the financial strength of a firm, level of commitment in view of the market potential, the willingness of the company to commit resources in a particular market also determines the entry mode choice. Companies need to evaluate various investment alternatives for allocating scarce resources. International experience, a company well exposed to the dynamics of the international marketing environment would be at ease when making a decision regarding entering into international markets with a highly intensive easy mode of entry such as joint ventures and wholly owned subsidiaries. Now, next is modes of entry into international businesses, exporting and importing. Exporting refers to the selling of goods and services by a firm of home country to a firm of foreign country. For example, sale of sweets by Haldiram to Walmart. Walmart is a store in USA, Haldiram is a store in India. Importing refers to buying of goods and services by a firm of home country from a firm of foreign country. For example, purchase of toys by an Indian toy dealer from Chinese firm. Two important ways to import and export are direct exporting, importing. The firm deals directly with the overseas buyers or suppliers and carries out all formalities related to shipment and financing of goods and services. Indirect exporting and importing, the firm employs a middleman, such as you see export houses or buying offices of overseas customers, who deals with the overseas buyers or suppliers and carries out all the formalities. The firm's participation is minimum. Tangible versus intangible, exports and imports. The exports and imports can be of two types: merchandise goods and imports. Merchandise means goods that are tangible, that is, which can be seen and touched. The trade in merchandise is also known as visible trade. Merchandise exports involve sending tangible goods abroad, while merchandise imports means bringing tangible goods from a foreign country into the home country. Service exports and imports, it involves trade in intangible, which cannot be seen and touched. The trade in services is also known as invisible trade. It includes trading in wide variety of services such as tourism, entertainment, transportation, communication, banking, etc. Advantages of exporting and importing are easy mode as compared to other modes of international business. It is the easiest way to get entry into international market. Less investment, it does not require heavy investment as needed in case of other modes of entry. Less risk, it is less risky due to negligible or low investment, low foreign investment as compared to other modes of entry. Now, advantage of import and export, it is one of the simplest routes of entering into the global trade, and import and export generate huge employment opportunities, requires less investment in terms of time and money when contrasted with other methods of entering into the global trade, is comparatively less risky when compared with different routes of entering in international business, as no nation can be 100% self-sufficient. Import and export are, very crucial for the functioning and growth of that nation, can help countries to assess the best technology available and best products and services in the world. It gives better control over the trade than setting up a market, and the risk is considered, low. Contract, manufacturing. Contract manufacturing is a type of international business in which a firm enters into a contract with another firm in foreign country to manufacture certain components or goods as per its specifications. For example, international companies such as Nike, Reebok, Levi's, etc., get their products or components produced in the developing countries under contract manufacturing. Contract manufacturing can be done in three ways: production of certain components to be used in producing final products. For example, giving contract to manufacture car accessories like door handles, rear mirror, so that they can be used in manufacturing the final products, that is making the car. Assembly of components into final products, for example, assembly of processor, motherboard, hardboard, RAM, etc. into a computer, laptop. Manufacturing of the complete product, for example, companies like Sony, Samsung get most of the products manufactured as per their specifications. Now, advantages of contract manufacturing are: contract manufacturing offers several advantages to both the international company and local producers in the foreign countries. No need to set production facilities. It allows the international firms to get the goods produced on a large scale without requiring investment in setting up production facilities. Low investment risk. The investment risk is almost negligible due to no little investment in the foreign countries. Lower cost of production. It benefits the international company to get the products manufactured or assembled at lower costs. For example, many foreign firms get their goods manufactured in India due to cheap labor. Better utilization of idle capacity. Local producers in foreign countries also gain as contract manufacturing ensures better utilization of their production capacity. Benefits of export incentives: the local manufacturers can get benefits of export incentives if the produced goods are to be delivered to a foreign country as per requirements of the international form. Licensing and franchising. Licensing is a contractual arrangement in which firm grants access to its patents, trade secrets, or technology to another firm in a foreign country for a fee called royalty. For example, Pepsi and Coca-Cola are produced and sold all over the world by local bottlers in foreign countries under the licensing system. The firm that grants such permission is known as licensor, and the other firm in the foreign country that acquires such rights are known as licensee. When there is mutual exchange of knowledge, technology, and or patents between the firms, it is known as cross licensing. It may be mentioned here that it is not only technology that is licensed. For example, in the fashion industry, designers license the use of their names. Franchising is a contractual agreement which involves grant of rights by one party to another for use of technology, trademark, and patents in return of the agreed payment for a certain period of time. The company that grants the rights, that is the parent company, is known as franchisor, and the other company which acquires the rights is known as franchisee. Examples of franchising are, you see, McDonald's, you must have seen so many stores, KFC also, Burger King, Pizza Hut, Dunkin' Donuts, you see, Subway, Taco Bell, Domino's Pizza, then Baskin Robbins. Now, advantage of franchising and licensing are, it is a more affordable method of stepping into international business, you see, as the licensors or franchisors don't need to pour too many funds abroad. The level of risk of the licensor is low because there is zero or next to zero investment is involved. Licensee, franchisee is the individual who is the resident of the same country which limits government intervention. Thus, business runs without any, you see, hurdles. The licensee has more market understanding and contacts as he is a local individual, you see, which guarantees achievement of marketing goals. Excluding licensee, franchisee, no other foreign organization can utilize such trademarks and licenses. Joint ventures, when two or more firms join together for a common purpose and mutual benefit, it is a joint venture. For example, joint venture of Hero of India and Honda of Japan. It involves establishing a firm that is jointly owned by two or more otherwise independent firms. In India, joint venture is very popular as it not only attracts foreign capital but also foreign technology. A joint venture company can be formed if foreign company acquires, you see, interest, that is a portion of equity shares in an existing Indian company, it will become joint venture. An Indian company acquires interest in an existing foreign firm. Both foreign company and Indian company join together to form a new enterprise. These are all the three examples of, you see, joint venture. Advantages of joint venture are less financial burden in global expansion. It is financially less burdensome to expand globally for the international firm, as local partner also contributes to the equity capital of such venture. Facilitates large scale of operation. Joint ventures make it possible to operate on large scale and execute heavy projects which require huge capital and manpower. Benefits of local partners' knowledge. The joint venture helps to take advantage of knowledge of local partner regarding the competitive conditions, culture, business and political systems. Sharing of costs and risks. Generally, business in foreign market is very costly and risky. Joint venture facilitates sharing of such costs and risks with a, you see, local partner. Wholly owned subsidiaries. A wholly owned subsidiary is a company in which 100% investment in its equity capital is made by a parent company. The company making the investment is known as parent company or holding company. This method of entering into international business is preferred by those companies which are cash rich, which want full control over their overseas operations. And these companies are cash rich also. There are two ways of establishing a wholly owned subsidiary in a foreign market. Setting up a new company by making 100% investment in a foreign country. It is also referred to as green field venture. Next is acquiring an established company by investing 100% in its equity. You see, buying all the shares in a foreign country and using that firm to manufacture and or promote its product in the host country. A company becomes the holding company when it acquires more than 50% equity shares in another company, known as subsidiary company. Or if the holding company holds 100% equity shares in a company, then the latter is termed as wholly owned subsidiary company. Now, advantages of wholly owned subsidiary companies are full control. The parent company is able to exercise full control over the management of wholly owned subsidiary company in the foreign country. Then no disclosure of trade secrets, you see, because only one owner is there, so no trade secrets will go out. As the parent company has full control over operations of subsidiary company, it prevents, you see, leakage of technology or trade secrets to others. The benefits of international business and the concept of comparative, you see, advantage. Participation in international business allows countries to take advantage of their comparative advantage. The concept of comparative advantage means that a nation has an advantage over other nations in terms of access to affordable land, resources, labor, and capital. In other words, a country will export those products or services that utilize abundant factors of production. Further, companies with sufficient capital may seek another country that is abundant in land or labor, or companies may seek to invest internationally when their home market becomes, you see, saturated. Participation in international business allows countries to take advantage of specialized expertise and abundant factors of production to deliver goods and services into the international marketplace. This has the benefit of increasing the variety of goods and services available in the marketplace. International business also increases competition in domestic markets and produces new opportunities to foreign markets. Global competition encourages companies to become more innovative and efficient in their use of resources. For consumers, international business introduces them to a variety of goods and services. For many, it enhances their standard of living and increases their exposure to new ideas, devices, products, services. And why you want to expand globally? You see, global expansion is costly and complex. To offset these costs and risks, organizations must have strong reasons for developing a global strategy. Why you want to go abroad? These reasons generally fit one or more of the, you see, now first is global concentration. Depending upon the competitive concentration of a given industry in a given region, it may make sense to enter a market where competition is relatively scarce and demand is high. Global synergies. Some organizations have highly developed competencies, you see, that are easily scaled. In these situations, global expansion means natural, you see, synergy. Global strategic motivations. Other reasons for expansion to a given country may exist strategically, such as developing new sourcing sites for production or acquiring strategic assets in a given, you see, region. External factors, you see, impacting expansion are international expansion can be a costly and complex procedure. Before considering such a significant strategic move, management must weigh the external factors that will impact success during a global transition. These are socio-cultural. The social environment of a given region can have a significant impact on success. Food companies are highly impacted by this. Certain cultures prefer certain types of, you see, foods. Geographic environment, for example, skilling equipment may not do so well in, you see, regions without snow or mountains. Oil companies can only source oil from resource-rich regions. Legal, political, some countries have high barriers to entry, complex tax rates, and or unclear legislative, you see, practices. Ease of doing business is critical here. Economic, the standard of living is, you see, different from region to region, and recognizing the value of a given market in terms of spending, you see, power, currency, and market size is critical to deciding, upon expansion. Technology, access to internet, electricity, clean water, and a variety of other technological dependencies must be considered prior to entry if the organization operations rely on easy access. Weighing the pros and cons of entering a given region and calculating projected cash flows, costs, and required returns on investment are central financial considerations to entering a new, international market. International business environment is multidimensional, including the political risks, cultural differences, exchange risks, legal and taxation issues. Therefore, international business environment comprises the political, economic, regulatory, tax, social, and cultural, legal, and technology environments. An international business environment is the surrounding in which international companies run their business. Thus, it is mandatory for the people at the managerial level to work on the factors that make an international business environment. International business is an exchange of goods and services that conducts its operations across national borders between two or more countries. International business is also known as globalization, whereas a business environment is surrounding in which the international companies operate. Now, advantages of international business environment are: it helps in expanding the business, it exposure to more customers, helps in proper management of the product life cycle, and helps in mutual growth. Now, political environment. The political environment refers to the type of government, the government relationship with the business, and the political risk in the country. Doing business internationally therefore implies dealing with a different type of government relationships and level of risk. There are many different types of political systems. For example, multi-party democracies, one-party states, constitutional monarchies, dictatorships, military and non-military. Therefore, in analyzing the political legal environment, an organization may broadly consider the political system of the business, approaches to the government towards business that is restrictive or facilitating, facilities and incentives offered by the government, legal restrictions, for instance, licensing requirement, reservation to a specific sector like the public sector, private or small scale sector, the restrictions on improving technical know-how, capital goods and raw materials, the restrictions on exporting products and services, restrictions on pricing and distribution of goods, procedural formalities required in setting the business. Economic environment. The economic environment relates to all the factors that contribute to a country's attractiveness for business, for foreign businesses. The economic environment can be very different from one nation to another. Countries are often divided into three main categories, that is, the more developed or industrialized, the less developed or third world, and the newly industrializing or emerging economies. Within each category, there are major variations, but overall, the more developed countries are the rich countries, the less developed, the poor ones, and newly industrializing, those moving from poorer to richer. These distinctions are generally made on the basis of the gross domestic product per capita, GDP per capita, better education, infrastructure and technology, healthcare, and so on are also often associated with higher levels of economic development. Clearly, the level of economic activity combined with education, infrastructure, and so on, as well as the degree of government control of the economy, affect virtually all facets of doing business, and a firm needs to recognize the environment if it is to operate successfully internationally. While analyzing the economic environment, the organization intending to enter a particular business sector may consider. So we have seen in this particular chapter about exports, imports. Now why do the firms do export? Suppose some particular commodity is available in in abundance here, you see. In our country, it is available in abundance. So, and say, for example, wheat. Now, we are, you see, in agriculture, our wheat, we are self-sufficient. You see, our country, our agriculturists, they are, you see, producing lot of, you see, wheat, and it is sufficient for the entire country. It is example. It is the example. And even then, you see, there is surplus of wheat. Now, what shall we do? If suppose in some country, its production is, you see, less, and they are in need of it, and you see, if we'll do export, if we'll export wheat to that country, we will, you see, earn, you see, that foreign currency, you see, because they will make the payment in foreign currency, and we will receive, you see, foreign currency in our country. Next is, you see, suppose, you see, a company which is manufacturing shoes. Now they know that if we make shoes sold in our country here, or if we export it from Taiwan, because in Taiwan, you see, good quality of sole is available at a, you see, lesser price, and same quality of sole we manufacture in our country, it comes out to be, the production cost comes out to be, you see, more than, you see, the cost in Taiwan. So we can import that particular, you see, item from Taiwan, and after importing that particular item, we can, you see, make the shoe. Top fourth portion we are having, you see, many factories in our country, in Agra. You see, we are having many factories. So we make that top portion, and that sole we put from the soles which we have imported from Taiwan. So we can make like this, we can increase our profit. We can increase our profit, and we can give to the customers good quality of shoe. At the same time, you see, of course, when you see, we will be you see, giving foreign exchange. We are not, you see, earning foreign exchange, because we are not exporting. We are, you see, importing shoe soles. Similarly, if suppose we do export of, you see, say shirts, you see, some of our shirts manufacturer, he has received a order from, you see, a foreign buyer for, say, 50,000 you see, shirts of various, you see, sizes, 38, 40, 42, 44, 36, 34, like that. And now this Indian seller, he does not know that, you see, foreign buyer. So he is afraid that if I send the shirts, if I do export, you see, I may not, if I am not paid, you see, then I will be having a lot of loss. So in this, you see, bank come into the picture. Now what banks, you see, does? Say in a local trade, what bank will do in a local trade? Suppose you have exported, you see, 10,000 shirts to Bombay. And your buyer, you see, what you will do, you will go to your bank, you will give them your invoice of 10,000 shirts. Then you will also give that, suppose you have sent it by truck, lorry receipt of those 10,000 shirts, you will give to your banker. You must be, you see, dealing with that bank, you must be having account there. That is why you go to that bank. And you see, that bank will, you see, send all the documents which you will, you see, give to the bank. Then your promissory note will be there to the banker of the buyer. You see, this is, you see, outward bill for collection. Bank will send your bill for collection. Now, this banker of the buyer is in Bombay. When he will receive the, you see, bill from your banker, daily banker, he will send a letter to, or he will do email to the buyer, because that buyer is his customer. You see, he's having account. that you see your bill has come. So you please deposit the money and take the invoice, railway receipt or lorry receipt or airway bill, you see, whichever transport if you have sent. You have sent it by air, then there will be airway bill. If you have sent it by rail, then RR railway receipt will be there. If you have sent it by truck, then your lorry receipt will be, you see, there in that. No, you can send the yeah. So that Bombay, you see, buyer will first pay the money, you see, amount of invoice deposit in his account. Then they will release the, you see, lorry receipt. With the lorry receipt, he will go to the transport office and he will take the delivery of 10,000 shares. Money is already deposited, given to the bank. That money, you see, buyer's Bombay bank will send that money to the seller's, you see, bank in Delhi. Now, after receiving the payment, seller's bank in Delhi will credit the, you see, account of its customer who is, you see, stationed, who is in Delhi, who is in Delhi. So, like this, our local trade, you see, takes place in the entire India. You see, people are, you see, only taking the sample, then they are giving the order. They are not, very rarely they will come out for giving an order after. They will come only when they want to, you see the quality, see the variety, you see the stocks, then they will come. Otherwise, you see, by seeing the sample only, they give the orders. And this is how the trade, local trade, you see, happens in the, you see, entire country. So, for example, suppose the seller is in Calcutta, buyer is in, you see, Delhi. Same way, that seller, you see, first the moment he will get the order, then here also in within the country also there are local LCs also. Now this buyer's bank is in Delhi, so buyer's bank will uh, open a letter of credit in favor of the seller that if you will, you see, give the goods as per the order, there is no defect in the goods. We take the responsibility of the, you see, payment. So this is what is known as letter of credit (LC). So it is local within India also. It can, you see, work, and abroad also, you see, it works. If it is within India, then it is local LC, local LC. Now, when suppose the seller is in Calcutta, after he gets the LC from the buyer's bank, which is in Delhi, buyer's bank will send the LC to the seller's, you see, bank in Calcutta, and seller's bank will inform the seller that we have received the letter of credit, and now you can, you see, ready the order. So in Calcutta, that person will, you see, who is manufacturing, who is having a factory. So he will, suppose shirts are there, so he will ready the shirts. He will see that quality should be, you see, same. All the shirts should be of same, you see, quality. There should not be any defect, because that is a term in letter of credit. If suppose there is any defect in the LC, though we will not, you see, then the order will be cancelled. So that you have to, you see, take care. Sometimes for that they keep they engage they take the service of inspector also. Inspection officer, you can say inspection officer also, who is going to inspect all the, you see, manufactured items, and then if he gives a certificate, yes, they are as per the order. So now seller from Calcutta will send the goods. He can send it by air, he can send it by railway, he can send it by transport, this truck, or he can, if there is a ship facility also there, then he can send it by ship also. You see, sending by ship will be very cheap. So he will see by whichever, you see, mode he wants to send, he will, you see, send those commodities, and he will submit the documents to his bank in Calcutta. Now, what are the documents which are to be submitted? You see, main thing is invoice, the cost of the, you see, goods which that amount he will be receiving as payment after, you see, when the goods will be reached. Then he can send some insurance, you see, policy also taken for the transit period. You see, if the goods are going from Calcutta to Delhi, so if suppose anything happens, see, by truck, if suppose they are giving, by lorry receipt, if suppose there is a fire and goods are, you see, destroyed. So this insurance is a must. They take insurance policy. Then where they book the goods, that transport operator will issue them motor transport receipt, MTR or lorry transport receipt. They will issue. So all these, you see, things he will deliver it to the bank. At the back of, you see, lorry receipt, he will write, you see, these goods should be delivered to the, you see, buyer. You see, he will make it in favor of bank. Bank will make it in favor of, you see, another bank who is the, you see, buyer's bank. And that buyer's bank will transfer it in the favor of the buyer. So then buyer will take the, you see, delivery of the goods, you see. So this is the procedure. You see, things are done like this only. Same way, you see, international transactions also takes place. You see, there is letter of credit. You see that importers bank will give letter of credit to the exporter bank that if the order is made as per the, you see, terms and conditions, if there is no defect in the goods, we take the responsibility of the, you see, payment. Then suppose exporter is in India. Now after getting this letter of credit, he is confident that my payment, you see, won't go. My payment will, you see, come. So he starts preparing for the order. Suppose it is 10,000 shirts, so he will, you see, engage. He will buy cloth. He will engage, you see, these tailors. You see, they will make these shirts. Then he will, you see, pack them. He will pack them, and then he will get them inspected also by some, you see, the inspection is for inspection that, you see, shirts are as per the, shirts are made without any defect. They are as per the order. Now, you see, suppose the goods are going to, you see, USA. So he will now send the goods by ship. And again, here, you see, he will take the insurance of the shirts of the goods. If suppose anything, you see, goes wrong, so he will get the money from the insurance company. So instead of 10,000, say if it is 50,000 shirts, so he will take the insurance. And then these documents, you see, which are the documents? Bill of lading, that is the certificate issued by the document issued by the ship company. Then insurance, you see, policy, which the seller has taken from the insurance company. Then his invoice, the invoice bill, what is the cost, you see, how much the seller has to pay. So all these documents, this seller of goods submits it to his bank. Suppose his bank is State Bank of India, you see, Noida. So he will submit all these to State Bank of India, Noida. And earlier, prior to this, letter of credit was received prior to this. Now this State Bank in India will send all these documents to the, you see, buyer's bank, and buyer will deposit money in his bank, and then buyer's bank will release the documents, and buyer's bank in turn will, you see, send the money to the, you see, seller's bank in India. So like this, you see, transactions, you see, happen. And for this, this letter of credit is very important. And importer, they need not go to, you see, other person's country. You see, they can do it. You see, a bank is the intermediary. So we are closing this session. Thank you very much, students. Thank you very much.